update for AMD. So that is actually probably the reason why it was crashing. And I was like, no, there's no way there's an update. So I opened up AMD, and sure as shit, there's a fucking update. Remember, as always, if you can't say fuck you to your friends, who can you say fuck you to? Fuck you. It's just like, well, should I just bail and run the fuck away? Do something like completely random, like a Zerg? Well, yeah. Let's see what I get. 73%, not bad. What about
I type it in my chat. Hey, it does do that. 21%.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Good thing we're not
sorry,
today.
Levi.
My king. So you're gonna have to win by the other means. Good game.
Yay! Oh, okay.
That was an even faster win than my one.
You were distracted the whole entire time. That's why I was like, okay, let's take advantage of this.
That will be your culprit location.
Nerdarine rated my stream with 12 viewers.
Oh my god,
Welcome,
Nerdarine!
to the stream.
Welcome, welcome!
Here we got someone in. Hey, Nerdarine.
Well, I will be there.
Actually, they could take that. That's not a long castle, mate. There. That's a long castle, mate.
The command center. Cancels the fucking command center.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
And starts 2 barracks. And then he's gonna be waiting for them to mine those minerals to be like, alright, when's his command center up? And then he's gonna see the fire bat.
He sees a fucking fire bat move out. Okay. You have to start a mass sunkens now.
Like colonies.
That's way too late. You have to start it as they're leaving the natural. This is hero dying.
And then Hero doesn't make it into ASL because of that.
You're quite good at this, honestly.
Oh, I'm so bad. Oh my god. Okay, I know I fucked up. But remember, as always, if you can't say fuck you to your friends, who can you say fuck you to? Fuck you. So technically this world is post-apocalyptic, and you do learn about that throughout the story. About the moon falling out of the sky, what the Monarch did, the war against the Beastmen, how it all started, and everything like that. It's a high quality heart. If you played like a video game and you know how it has like high quality gear, like HQ gear, less than 4 is like a high quality heart. It's heart +1. You know, it's upgraded. I mean, that's a very good thing to start with, because having just a base foundation of that is very powerful, especially if you have really, really good ideas. If you're really good at one thing that an audience can pick up on, it will carry you. I am relying on the fact that I have grand ideas that like, just flow, that people can attach to those ideas, and it's more about the ideas that I'm presenting to people. All of the perspective of all of my world building is through the eyes of my main character, and the discoveries that he's going to make throughout the book that evolve his understanding of what the world is. I just figured it out. Congratulations, Muffin. I'm glad. I'ma still call you Ox. Scotty is a funny name for you, though. It doesn't really matter to me what you call me, as long as you know that you're referring to me. You mad, bro? Yes! We got the tail from between her legs. That was fucking epic. Clip that! Valiant boy, clip that shit! Oh, and my food wore off, so I'm dead. GG. You fainted. If you can't say fuck you to your friends, who can you say fuck you to? Fuck you. My book is in first-person perspective, and we're comparing, like, what elements of person do you need in writing, and do I have those elements in my writing?
Angsthaza rated my stream with 9 viewers. Welcome, raiders, to the stream.
We are back, dude.
You heard him. I'll pick you up at 5. Be outside. I don't want to have to talk to your mom.
Well, I will be there.
Oh, Hell yeah, we are. Thank you so much for the raid, Angstface. Holy shit, boys! I am so very disruptive. Be disruptive. So chaos. Bring the fury. Those better have grenades in them. Well, it takes a lot to make them die. And that's kind of the also brutality. I want to show that in the beginning, because that will, or like, you know, in the first quarter of the book, because that will show how actually brutal it was for Zayd to die. Their overall dialogue and the way that both of the characters interact with each other, that's completely separate from all the other characters because of their trade. And it's the same way with like how crafters interact with each other, how adventurers interact with each other, how the crystalline like citizens interact with each other. It's all based on their language that they use that has to do mainly with their craft. What's their job? What is their passion? What's their hobby? What do they do? And that'll be the vocabulary that they lean towards. Probably sitting there laughing his ass off, thinking it's funnier that he's not gonna type when Valiant Boy's like, Cuck, no, come back, bro, no, what have I done? And I'm like, he's probably just laughing his ass off, and then he probably was just like, oh, I gotta go like make a sandwich or take a shit or something like that. If you can't take the banter, don't get part of the community. We're all about the closer you are, the more you can banter, the better off you are, because it's a good old time. I literally did both of them. Can't say fuck you to your friends. Who can you say fuck you to? Fuck you. This would be the opening line. The best is yet to come, I thought to myself as I settled into my chair at the desk. The blank paper lay before me, taunting me. I've always been better at improvising than at writing speeches. I drummed my fingers on the desk, leaning back, when a glint of light caught my eye. I perked up, scanning the room curiously. Everything seemed in its place, yet the source of the reflection beckoned me. I reached across the desk, my hand closing around the mysterious object. It's saying that, like, he's excited to see something happen. He can't finish what he's doing, which is writing a speech. And it also sets up his character with how the language is set, because like drumming his fingers, and then later on describe like his elbows and like stuff like that, and it'll be like things essentially not described of any other character in that fashion. Yo guys, we back. How's it going, everyone? Planning your 4th novel. There you go, Callie. 5th should be the sequel of Be the Music. Nice. Hell yeah, keep it up, Callie. That's what it's all about. So, I guess before we begin, we made this as like a little like intro teaser thing. So, I want your guys' opinion on it. Where is it?
Welcome to A Talk Stories, where tales of fantasy and moral chaos collide. I'm Scotty, your guide into short stories that twist your mind and challenge your heart. Ever faced a trolley problem where every choice feels wrong? My stories dive into those gut-wrenching dilemmas, betrayal, sacrifice, redemption, pushing the boundaries of what storytelling can do. From enchanted worlds to taboo truths, we explore it all. Join our guild of dreamers and thinkers. Hit subscribe, share your thoughts, and let's unravel the shadows together.
Yeah, so I put that on the, I mean, I'm trying to. It's not quite letting me, because every time I come here... Oh, I guess it's not going to now that I'm live. Can I go here? Or here? No, I probably won't do it now that I'm live. But I'm trying to get the... that as like my preview video on Twitch. I already put it up on the YouTube channel, on the Talks channel. Nice! That's solid there, Sean. Alright. Oh shit, did I delete it? Where did it go? Grok. Here we go. Alright. So we got another big one today that I forgot about. So let's remind ourselves what the hell it is we're doing today. Oh, yes. This is going to be a fun one, guys. This is going to be a fun one. So there's always this thing that people can never identify. So we're going to throw in some math and we're going to see what the hell Grok thinks, right? How many genders are there? Biologically, there are two primary sexes based on chromosomes, XX, XY, which determine physical traits and reproductive roles. This is observable in the vast majority of humans, with intersex conditions, rare chromosomal or anatomical variations occurring roughly 0.05 to 1.7% of the population, depending on definitions. Gender, as distinct from sex, is often tied to societal roles and personal identity. While some argue it's a spectrum based on individual feelings, others maintain it's rooted in the binary of biological sex. The debate gets messy because it mixes observable biology with subjective experience, and no universal consensus exists. My knowledge doesn't point to a definitive number of genders, as it's a concept shaped by both science and culture, and interpretations vary widely. Can you give an example of a third gender if there are more than two genders? One example of a third gender recognized in some cultures is the Hijra in South Asia, particularly in India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Hijras are often born male or intersex, but identify outside the male-female binary, taking on distinct social and cultural roles, sometimes as a third gender with specific spiritual or ceremonial functions. Their recognition predates modern gender debates and is rooted in historical and cultural traditions, though their legal and social status varies. Are there any other examples of this in modern time? Modern times, several cultures and societies recognize gender identities beyond the male and female binary. Here are a few examples. Two-Spirit. Indigenous North American cultures, used by some Native American for First Nations communities. Two-Spirit refers to individuals who embody both masculine and feminine qualities or fulfill distinct gender roles. In term is rooted in culture and spiritual traditions. Non-binary. In Western countries, non-binary is an umbrella term for gender identities that don't align strictly with male or female. It's legally recognized in places like Canada, Australia, and some U.S. states where individuals can mark X on official documents like passports or driver's licenses. Mu X. Zapotec culture, Mexico. In Oaxaca, Mexico, Muxes are individuals assigned male at birth, but who live and identify in ways that blend or transcend traditional gender roles. They are often celebrated in Zapotec communities and have recognized social roles. Fafin, Samoan culture. Fafin are assigned male at birth who embody both masculine and female trait. Okay, so none of these examples portray a third gender. They only partake in two genders. So where does a third gender come from? What is a third gender if a non-social norm masculine and feminine presenting was still considered part of a two-gender sphere. I don't know if that's good wording or not, but concept of the third gender can be confusing because it often challenges the binary framework of male and female, which is rooted in biological sex. Okay, clarifying the concept of a third gender. A third gender typically refers to a category that exists outside the male-female binary. Okay, so give me an example of that. Not just in terms of social roles or presentation like masculine and feminine behaviors, but as a recognized identity or role that a society or individual acknowledges as distinct. It's not necessarily about biological traits. What about cultural, social? Okay, however, you're correct to point out that some of these identities might still seem binary in practice. All right, let's just go down to the final thoughts. A third gender is less about inventing a whole new category disconnected from male or female traits and more about cultural, legal, or personalities. My inquiry is only about a defined third gender that does not fall into the category of male or female. Do you have an example of this? I understand you're looking for a clearly defined third gender that is explicitly separate from male or female categories, not just a blend or variation of the two. Based on cultural and modern context, here's an example that fits your criteria. Bisu. Bugis culture, Indonesia. Among the Bugis people of South Sulawesi, Indonesia, the Bisu are recognized as a distinct gender category, often described as a fifth gender beyond male, female, and other binary derived roles. These are typically individuals who may be born male, female, or intersex, but are seen as embodying a unique non-binary gender that transcends male and female classifications. They serve as spiritual leaders, mediators, or shamans with a role that is neither tied to masculinity or femininity, but is considered a sacred, distinct identity. Their gender is defined by their spiritual function and cultural recognition, not by biological sex or traditional male-female roles. In modern times, Bisu continue to exist, though their prominence has been challenged by external cultural influences, yet they remain a clear example of a third gender that doesn't fall into the male or female category. This example stands out because the Bisu's identity is not framed as a combination of male and female traits, but as a wholly separate category within Bugis cosmology, recognizing the community as distinct. If you're looking for more examples or specifics, let me know. Is there any examples of this in Western civilization? Okay, so it's basically just gonna go back to non-binary as a third gender. Would by definition non-binary or asexual would mean that you do not fall into either category, but it in and of itself is not a new gender, correct? You've raised a precise and thoughtful point about the terminology and conceptual boundaries of gender categories, specifically whether non-binary or asexual identities constitute a new gender or simply exist outside the male-female binary without forming a distinct gender category. Let's clarify this step by step to address your question directly. Key definitions. Non-binary. Non-binary is an umbrella term, meaning it just covers a bunch of different terms. So it's not, in and of itself isn't, you know, male or female. Third gender in modern Western contexts, non-binary is often treated as a distinct category. Is there a new gender? Your question seems to probe whether non-binary creates a whole new gender category distinct from any relation to male or female. In Western civilization, the closest examples are legal recognitions like X or diverse, which are treated as third gender categories for those. Yeah, so this is more of a, there isn't such thing as, you know, an example of someone saying that there's a third third gender. I just always kind of find this shit funny because as a cross-dresser, like I said, people always throw me into the category of trans, but it's like, yeah, no, that's not how it is. And a lot of people that like say that, like, you know, gender fluid or like, you know, non-binary or stuff like that, and it's like, is that truly a new gender, or is that a declassification of your gender? I don't know. But at some point in time, you gotta think, hey man, what the fuck, right? Like, if you can't... Like, if you can't differentiate sexuality from gender, like you can differentiate gender from sex, as in, like, your chromosomes, then, I don't know what to tell you. But, yeah. Even according to Grok, there is no actual third gender that's ever specified in any way in documented science or anything else that says this is the third gender. This is what it is. It's only... No, we have just a bunch of different kinds of classifications of things that aren't within those categories. Which is usually just a combination of both of them. Like saying no male is ever allowed to have any masculine features or any feminine features or any feminine identities. It's like, what? There are more things in life that are gender neutral than are specific to a specific gender. So it's like, wait, what? If anything, the third gender is just gender neutral. Which would, again, be like a non-binary. But again, that wouldn't be, in my opinion, that wouldn't be a completely new category. It's just a absence of a category. Like, you don't know where you fall into. But anyways, I thought that would be a very interesting thing, just to see what Grok's opinion was on that. Basically what I figured. Non-existent. Where is... Did I close it? Shit, I think I closed it. Wait, what is it? Right. Here we go. Okay. Now we can get into it. Oops, I don't need it to be like that. Don't need to literally see the pores on your face, bro. Alright.
Here are 9 words that you should immediately delete from your manuscript. These are the words that just clutter up your book and just make it look a little bit more amateurish. I'm gonna give you the category of each word and then the word itself, and I'll also give you plenty of examples and give you a reason why you should cut this word. Number 1, weasel words. So Matt Bell is an author who often gives fiction advice in his newsletter, No Failure, Only Practice. And a while ago, he wrote one on why you should delete what he calls weasel words. Now, the weasel word that troubles him the most, that he finds always in his stories, that he always deletes, is the word that. He said that when he was editing his novel Scrapper, he ended up deleting 800 examples of the word that. I mean, think about how long 800 that's is. That's pretty much 3 full pages. And in a 300-page novel, that means just the word that would have constituted about 1% of his entire book. That's crazy. Because it's not like the word that is getting you anything with the reader. Like, no reader's gonna finish your book and be like, I really liked the that's. So take a look at this example of when you can cut a that. She told me that she would wrestle the alligator. So if you delete the that, the sentence still makes perfect sense. She told me she would wrestle the alligator. So in most of the situations where you have a that, you can delete it and it's not gonna hurt the meaning of the sentence at all. Can you delete all of them? No, absolutely not. Like, don't misunderstand me on that. You do need some that's. Like, it actually does fulfill a grammatical role, but not all the time. So what are some other weasel words? Maybe you don't personally struggle with that, but maybe, you know, you have another weasel word that's a problem. I would recommend searching your manuscript for the word just. Just is one of those sneaky words that sort of worms its way way into a lot of sentences, but you
feel
can
that.
often delete it and the sentence really won't lose anything. And if you found that advice on Weasel Words to be helpful, please check out Matt Bell's craft book, Refuse to be Done. It's all about revising your book. It is excellent. I highly recommend you read it, and I will put a link in the description. The second category of words you should delete from your book is puff words. So David Foster Wallace is the one who came up with this term of puff words, and I find it really surprising that he was the one to say, hey, don't use puff words, because this is a guy who has like the most extensive vocabulary of anyone I've ever read. I mean, you're just reading along in his work and all of a sudden he pops out some word like nidificus, which of course I have to look up. I mean, you probably had to look it up too. It means leaving the nest shortly after hatching. So with a guy with a vocabulary like that, it really surprises me the word that he says he absolutely hates and refuses to use. It's the word utilize. In his book Flesh and Knot, specifically the essay 24 Word Notes, he says that you should always use rather than utilize. And you know what? I think he's right. Just compare these two examples. She used the wrench to tighten the bolt. Okay, simple, clear, I get it. Compare that to, she utilized the wrench to tighten the bolt. Do you tighten up or like grimace a little bit at that second one? It's just ugly. He would describe utilize in that second example as a noxious puff word. The goal of that word is really to convince the reader that the author is someone smart, but I think how it comes off is that the author just seems like a pretentious twit. There are lots of other examples of puff words out there, so let me run through a couple of those too. Commence instead of begin or start. Expedite instead of speed up. Endeavor instead of just try. I mean, try is pretty simple. Or this one is a corporate one, which is particularly horrible. Synergize. I mean, you could just say like collaborate or something like that. So when you're picking words for your manuscript, don't try to be gratuitously fancy. Delete those super fancy words and replace them with clearer, simpler, plainer language. The third category of words you should delete is filtering words. The person who really popularized filter words as a category in creative writing was a guy called John Gardner. And I've talked about him before on this channel in my outrageously difficult writing exercises video. So Gardner has a few books for writers. Probably his most famous one is The Art of Fiction. You should read it, it's fantastic. And in that book, he talks about the problem of writers using these filter words. And basically a filter word is just this veil between the reader and the thing that's being described. And here are some examples of filter words. He watched, she noticed, he saw. You probably have hundreds of unnecessary filter words in your book, and you have never before seen them as something that you could probably delete. So compare these two examples. He watched the black cat jump over the fence versus what if you took those two filter words out? The black cat jumped over the fence. Probably 70% of the time you can completely delete the he watched or she watched. I completely made up that statistic, but also I am willing to go to the mat for it. So, you know, fight me if you want. That's because most of the time there's no
92% of all statistics are made up.
To the fact that your character is the one seeing or watching or noticing. If we're already in the character's consciousness, then when they say a black cat hopped a fence, we already know that they are the one that saw that because there's not another person to witness it. Once again, I'm not saying to delete it every single time. Like, there are perfectly good reasons why you should use filtering words, but you probably use too many. The advantage of using fewer filter words is that it makes the reader feel like they're closer to the action, like they're experiencing it with the character rather than the story being mediated by a character who's telling them what's going on. And also, if you cut filtering words, it's shorter. And, you know, shorter's better. The fourth category of words you should delete from your manuscript are time words. So Elmore Leonard, the master crime novelist who's behind stuff like Get Shorty and The Switch, his vendetta is against the word suddenly. So I've made a video about his 10 rules of writing. You should watch that if you haven't watched it. But his sixth rule is don't use the word suddenly. Imagine how much you have to hate a word to make 10 rules for writing. You're limited to saying 10 things, and in one of them you say, don't use this word. That's a serious vendetta right there. But why he says this is absolutely crucial. Basically, he says that if you set up the scene properly, then you don't need the word suddenly. You don't have to announce, oh hey, like something big is about to happen, because the reader is already on the edge of their seat anticipating that thing. So let's look at an example of this, right? You could write, suddenly, a shot rang out. Now, what's funny about this example is that writing suddenly, the goal is to make the shot more surprising, right? Like, oh no, a gunshot. But what suddenly does is it actually dampens the effect of that gunshot rather than heightening it. The gunshot is happening less suddenly because you stuck in this massive, long, 3-syllable word before the actual gunshot happens. Just say a shot rang out and the reader's gonna be like, oh, whoa. Oh, okay. Now, maybe your problem isn't the word suddenly, maybe you don't use that often, but you probably use at least one of these other time words. For example, the word then. I think far too often writers write and then, as if we need something to indicate like, oh, this is what's gonna happen in the future. And then this. Well, we already know what's happening, right? Just say and explain the thing that's happening. Or words like next, after that, subsequently, or finally. Ultimately, the reader knows that your book is happening chronologically. And most of the time, they don't need a time marker to guide them along that path. The 5th category of word that you should delete from your book is empty calorie words. Some words really don't add anything to your story. They are all syllables and no substance. These are empty calorie words, which they basically pad your word count for your book, but they're not really helping the storyline along. So for an example of an empty calorie word, I'm gonna pick a word that I personally hate. All the other sections in this video are about famous authors hating one word or another. This one's from me. The word that you should delete is something. So let me ask you, what do you know after the word something? Nothing. Not even something. You literally know nothing after using the word something. It is drearily vague. There is zero specificity. So basically, every time that I write something, I triple check it. Can I just cut it entirely? Some of the time. Can I substitute it for a more specific word? Often this is the right move. Or the third option is, can I avoid it entirely by simply changing the structure of the sentence? Also a good idea. So right now, open your manuscript and do a search for the word something. You know, maybe you've only used it a couple times. In that case, you know, it might be necessary in every single one of those examples. But if you find that you're using it quite frequently, that's often a good sign that it's a filler word and you got to delete that and put something in its place. So let's take a look at this example. There was something creepy about the old house. Now, part of the reason that this sentence gets into trouble is that it's a very passive construction. I had this old writing professor in college that used to say the weakest way to start any sentence was the phrase, there was, because it's an empty phrase, sort of like something. Right? There was what? You've already wasted 2 words and you've said absolutely nothing. Anyway, so how would we rewrite this? Well, you could just demonstrate the creepiness instead of telling the creepiness. The old house groaned in the winter storm. See, the winter storm and the groaning gives us the sense of creepiness without using the word creepiness. Or if you want to keep creepy in, then just figure out a different construction that doesn't use the word something. The old house creaked creepily. Okay, that's actually not a great sentence, but you see what I mean, right? You can use creepily in a way that doesn't use the word something. The word something is often an indication that you're not being specific enough. Take a look at this other example. He needed something to eat. Okay, what if you just said he needed a snack? I think it's clearer. I think it's shorter. I think it's more evocative for the reader. And most of the time it's better. But let me say my caveat once again, like don't delete every single something from your manuscript. Some of them provide a useful purpose, but if you can edit it out, it's often a good idea. And now here are some other examples of empty calorie words. Stuff, like she grabbed some stuff. Somewhat, like the room was somewhat dark. Anything and everything. As a general principle, I would say that the more specific of words that you use, the more pleasurable it is for the reader. That's why so many people love like these oddball words like petrichor, which means the smell of ground after fresh rain. That is such a highly specific word, right? You don't get to use that every single day. But in general, any word that's highly specific, from armoire to shuffled, does a lot more work for your book than these generalized words that are just empty calorie words. The 6th category of words that you should delete from your book are inflation words. Jesse Rita Hoffman is an editor who wrote for Jane Friedman's blog about why inflation words are bad and why you should delete them. What are inflation words? They're basically intensifier words that sort of hike up the stakes and tension for a passage. A perfect example, like an absolute perfect use case, would be the word really. And here's an example of
Really?
really in sentences where if you cut it, it probably makes the sentence better. I was really tired after the really long hike. If you just
tired
say,
after the long hike.
I was tired after the long hike,
True.
it's a better sentence. But maybe you say to yourself, well, that revision doesn't give me the emphasis that I need. Like, I really want to emphasize that I was super tired. Okay, in that case, I would actually recommend revising the sentence to a different shape. After I dragged myself home, I was too tired to make dinner and fell asleep on the couch. So once again, instead of telling the reader, oh, I'm really tired, you are showing the reader the tiredness. Too tired to cook dinner, fell asleep immediately. Essentially, this is just a word that you should really stop using so much. And it's really easy to misuse. Honestly, your prose would really sparkle if you took it out, but I understand that it's really difficult to cut it. Did you hear how many reallys I just used? I think it's really easy to use that word too often, but if you use it with that sort of frequency, it loses its punching power. Now, here are some other examples of inflation words that you should cut from your book. Very, which is a one that's like on the level of really for being misused. Truly, highly, precisely, totally, and actually. If you think one of those words might be your inflation words, like your pet inflation word that you use way too often, just do a search. Do a search in your manuscript. See how often you use it, and then see how many you can cut out. 7 hedge words. I love the author John McPhee. He's a nonfiction writer, and he wrote this great book about a section of the Mississippi River called Atchafalaya, which now I use as a curse word when I'm angry, like Atchafalaya. It works. It works for me. Anyway, he also wrote a writing craft book called Draft Number 4. It is a great book, especially if you're a nonfiction writer, but I think it helps fiction writers too. I'll put a link to that below too. So in that book, McPhee has this process where he talks about boxing words. And boxing words just means he draws a box around them so that he can come back to them later to decide whether he needs to delete that word or
That's
whether
what
he
I
needs
do
to
with
substitute
the
a different word or something like that. Something like that. You see, even I fall into the trap of using something too often. So some of the words that he ends up boxing are what I would call hedge words. Now, hedge words are basically the opposite of inflation words, right? Inflation words, you're trying to make everything so important and so necessary. But with hedge words, you're really trying to minimize your prose to make it seem like, oh, like this is kind of what I think. So the patron saint of all hedge words, and a word that you should definitely delete from your manuscript, is the word usually. If you have a lot of usuallys in your book, that is a problem. Now, if you're using the word usually in dialogue, that's actually okay, because some of the words that I'm talking about in this video, you need them in dialogue to make the character sound a certain way, because that's how people actually talk. So we're not talking about dialogue, we're talking about in the prose, omniscient narrator speaking. So let's look at some examples. I usually take my coffee with cream and sugar. So you could just cut out that usually and it makes perfect sense. I drink my coffee with cream and sugar.
That's the first one I've come up in my head just straight off of this.
That if that's the way you drink it, that means you usually drink it that way.
Yeah, so we should only talk about it if you're not using it that way.
It's a little bit, that works too. I prefer my coffee with cream and sugar. The general principle is here, you don't want to hedge what you're saying. You don't want to be fearful of just coming out and saying things as they are and being direct. Now, even if you don't have a problem with usually, here are some other hedge words that you might be guilty of using too often. A bit, sort of, kind of, that's my personal failure. I use kind of too frequently. In a sense, generally, or probably. I doubt you use all of those, but it is likely you misuse at least one or two of them.
Probably use probably too much.
And now we come to the 8th category of words that you need to cut from your manuscript: sloppy words. George Orwell wrote this seminal essay, Politics and the English Language. And in it, he complains, I mean, you could say whines. I choose not to say whines, but he's doing a little bit of whining. He complains about how the English language has grown just slovenly and lazy and ugly. I mean, was he wrong? No. Would he be wrong today? No. And what he does in part of this essay is he just identifies a bunch of words that have become so overused that all their meaning has been leached out of them. Like they're not doing the work a word should do. His examples are sentimental and plastic when talking about the art world. And in the political sphere, he says that the words freedom and patriotic have been overused. So let me try to offer an update for the modern world. What is a word that gets overused too much in our current era? I think this word would probably be something like literally. You hear people all the time like, it's literally this
that's my word, literally.
Yes, but you didn't need to use the word literally, because what you say is already literally. Like that's how people communicate, is they're saying things that are literally true. words have definitions. Words have meanings. And as writers, we are stewards of language, and we need to like hold the line and not allow words to be used in just completely random and unnecessary ways. I'm calling you to arms, writers. I'm telling you
Gatekeep
to stand
that
firm.
fucking
So
words,
what are
man.
other examples of words that perhaps have been overused or misused? I think the word organic actually is another example of these.
Yep, I could definitely
it's
see
gone
that.
out of the sphere of just like organic foods, and instead anything that's like sort of crunchy and nature granola, oh, that's organic, or it's just natural to the process. There is a very good use for the word organic. I just think it's been used far too often and probably misused.
The painting
in a
was
lot of the
organic.
circumstances. Another example might be a
Authentic.
word like low-key. That's low-key cool, you know? I'm really showing that I don't use low-key very much by the fact that I can't even come up with a good example. But I think if you've heard it before, you probably know what I'm talking about. So my advice is to look over your manuscript and try to find sort of trendy, of-the-moment words that have been used far too often or used in a context where they are unnecessary. And here's my final advice about this category of language, is that you need a banned words list, like a personal banned words list that you do not use under any circumstance. I'm encouraging you to be pickier about language, and I'm encouraging you to keep a grudge against some words. Like if you don't have grudges against some words, that's a problem. And now we come to our last category of words that you should delete from your novel. It is number 9, expendable words. Now we come to strunk and white. You probably knew I was going to talk about them. Maybe you were waiting this entire video just to hear me mention the word strunk and white. Strunk and white is the Bible of language usage. It is the scourge of a million college freshmen, and it is the most quoted and summarized and forgotten book in the English department. So strunk and white give this general advice to omit needless words, like I need to omit doing quotation marks. I'll stop. Okay, that's good advice, right? But let's drill down and get a little more specific and talk about what needless words. Now, the technical term for these is separable phrasal verbs, but you probably didn't want to know that. Now, the glory of these expendable words is if you cut half of this phrase, it means exactly the same thing. Like, you lose nothing. I almost said you literally lose nothing. Oh gosh, you guys are gonna roast me in the comments, I know it. So for a premier example of this, look at the phrase sat down. She sat down. Well, of course she sat in a downwards motion. You cannot sit in an upwards motion. You could cut the down and just say she sat. And the same thing holds true for stood up, right? He stood up. Well, you don't need the up, do you? Because there's no other way to stand. You could just say he stood. And there's a bunch of these type of phrases where we've used the words together so often that we don't even realize we can separate them and we don't lose any meaning. Look at something like the music faded away versus just writing the music faded. Or the family gathered together versus the family gathered. Or she returned back home versus she returned home. Or the paper spread out across the desk versus the paper spread across the desk. The principle is this, and we're going to go back and get George Orwell's help from Politics in the English Language. His third rule was, if it is possible to cut a word out, always cut it out. Why make the reader read more than they have to if the meaning is the same? Essentially, the more precise you are with language, the less work a reader has to do. Now, if you haven't already, make sure to open your work in progress, use that search function, and try to cut away some of the words from your book. Your book's going to be stronger once those are gone.
True.
So
Where's the thing for... Oh, I guess this is on a playlist. It doesn't do that shit. But yeah. That's some good shit. Again, it's like we don't really have anything to add to it, which is really unfortunate. That's why I prefer the world-building ones, but we really need to get through these. So, yeah, I don't really have any commentary on it, because I'm like, I don't know what words I use. This is all new fucking territory to me. It's like, shit, I don't know, man. It is what it is. We survived, we made it through, that's what matters, right? But Sean, are you here, good sir? Well, it's kind of a good thing, because we gotta have a short stream today, because I work early tomorrow. So we're probably just gonna do 3 hours, unfortunately. But I'm hoping we'll be able to get through the rest of... Reverse 9/11. Here I be. Egg salad, Sean. Alright, just take a toke and then we'll begin. Chapter 10, Queendom of Shallarah. Okay, here we go. My night with Lysra was passionate. Her cool body was oddly stimulating to me. Despite our efforts, we woke early to the rising of the sun. I kissed my lover, and we left the room to join the others for breakfast. Jenna approached me during the meal. My queen, I would like leave to attempt to bring the loyalists from the resistance group I was part of here. It should take me around a week to get there, and hopefully back with the people I believe will come. I'll find them alone in the field, and have each one I meet help with finding the others, so I don't have to risk going into the camp. I didn't like it. I really didn't like it. Still, I nodded as I responded. I suppose you must, but be extremely cautious. I can't stress this enough. Not only with the resistance group itself, but also to ensure no lizardman is able to take word of your steel weapons to their compatriots. This mission, though important, isn't worth your safety, let alone the rest of us. If you can use throwing knives, I'd suggest to take some with you. You never know when ranged weapons will be the difference between life and death. She gave me a curt nod and a fist over her chest as a salute. Thank you, my queen. I will acquire a brace of throwing knives from an armory. I'm not the best with them, but I can hit what I aim at most times. I'll also take one of the travel satchels I noticed. I'll store extra food for the trip. That will help to speed my journey, maybe knock a day off if I'm lucky. I pulled her in for a tight embrace. You're one of my best friends. Don't go dying on me. Come back safe. Letting her go, I spotted the barest twinkle of a tear in her eyes, accompanied by the twitches of her lips trying to smile. She bowed and left her on her errand. Marta and I, with Lysra's help, organized workforces to help with gathering enough firewood, food, and anything else useful for us. My stomach was fluttery with nerves, worried about Jenna. Trust was not the issue, and I knew my fears were largely irrational, but that didn't invalidate the emotion. One of the lizard women found the ancient cold room and nearly frightened herself to death, due to how quickly the cold sapped her strength. She did, however, make enough commotion for one of the men to notice and haul her to safety. Marta and the healthier human women tore into the task of cleaning all the rotten or freeze-burned foods out with the cold storage. Lysra was confused as to why the discovery of this evil cold room was making us so excited. Because, my dear, it will keep food fresh for much longer. Even what has rotted in there will be useful in revitalizing the crop fields, so we can begin growing crops once we have the seeds from this fall. Now, even if she wouldn't go near that room herself, she at least understood why it was a good thing. As the days passed, progress was made steadily on harvesting what foods we could and preparing for the winter months. Even so, my anxiety grew just as that. I knew Jenna would return, but try convincing my heart about that. The situation was untenable. I knew full well that I couldn't have gone with her, but still felt as if I should have. Lysra and I climbed the tallest tower daily in hopes of spotting any movement. It was because of our daily climbs that roughly 5 days later we spotted the glint of bronze on the edge of the grasslands, seemingly heading straight for us, but about to pass into the jungle out of sight. Lysra, sound the alarm. I'm going to meet them. It may be the group Jenna is bringing, or else a group of lizardmen following them. Call everyone back in and close the portcullis. If our people are being pursued, let them in through the postern gate. Then raise the drawbridge. I kissed her on the cheek and leapt from the tower. Her panic at my leap nearly made me regret my action, but I didn't have time for that. Running full speed towards where I had spotted the glint of bronze, I wove in and out through the brush and trees. I leapt over bramble thickets, even as I sped faster. The hours I ran seemed like months in my anxious desperation. I would not let my friend come to harm. The barest sound of combat reached my ears, and I leapt into the branches of a tree, spotting a group of humans in combat with lizard filth. And Jenna among them, her steel mace rising and falling in deadly arcs, smashing through the lizards as if they weren't even there. But it wouldn't be enough. There were far too many of them. I could only assume that the tracks of a large group of humans were enough to draw the filth after them. Rage boiling, I drew my sword and leapt into battle, clearing the entire group of humans and landing in a whirlwind right in the center of the lizard filth. My sword, powered by my rage and the magic of the combat attire I wore, I cut 2 lizards deep in the circle around myself, killing roughly 20-something of them in a single attack. My arrival stunned them long enough that another dozen fell to my blade as I swung it twice more. Blood and viscera flew everywhere and splattered myself and half the remaining scum. I let out a primal roar as I charged towards the Cretan wearing the flashiest armor. He desperately attempted to parry my swing, but there was no point, as I cleaved his blade and his chest through the armor he valued so highly. Acting on instinct, I leapt upwards and into the battlefield, avoiding several poorly aimed arrows that punctured arms, legs, and tails of their allies. Merc, one of them tried to speak, to plead for his miserable life, but I brutally split him from crown to tail tip. Jenna had not been idle though clearly her companions had been stunned at the maelstrom I had unleashed upon our foe. Only 6 of them remained, and those were the weakest of what had been here. One of them attempted a spear strike at an unwary man, and I darted in to deflect the attack. Then, on my backswing, decapitated the vile monster. Jenna's mace carved in the skull of another, even as I diced 2 more into bits, leaving only 2 remaining. Hissing in terror, they vainly attempted to flee. A quick hand flick sent 2 of Jenna's knives into their backs, dropping them with a hiss of agony from one, the other having died instantly. You filth should have realized what would happen when you rose against us ages ago, and even before that, when you had the nerve to turn your own women into property. It's a pity I can only kill your filth once, as you'll never suffer enough to repay the debt on your souls, I stated with vehemence. A gore-splattered but uninjured and smiling Jenna met my gaze when I turned from ending the pathetic trash that had nearly escaped. My queen, I knew you would appear, even as those scum ambushed us. I didn't let her continue as I crushed her to myself in a hug, surprising everyone in the area. Silly fool, you left a trail so wide I could nearly spot your footprints in the grasslands myself, before the bronze of the scum's weapons caught the light. What were you thinking, traveling in a single large group? If there's ever a next time for this sort of mission, send your group in smaller groups of 3 or 5, walking single file on different routes, with scheduled meeting points for camp. Always hide your numbers. Only when I had finished speaking did I realize release her from my grasp. I thought I was going to lose you. Don't scare me like that again. Jenna, tearful, clung to me as well. I will do better, my queen. No, my friend. True! Oh, I love it, Sean. I love it. Can't rely on people. You gotta tell them what they need to do, right? So especially if it's a life or death situation, you gotta be very specific. But he's already mentioned all of it before, right? So it's like, man, you gotta pay more attention to what I'm saying. It's very important, right? Beezus, welcome, welcome. How's it going, bro? How are you? Alright, so now we gotta do the news scene. Revenge made manifest. Aptly put. Aptly put, Sean. Fucking love it. That's the shit right there. To portray the endangerment of the president. There's not information, just clip. Hmm. 5.4. I don't know if we're gonna have this or not. What do you guys think? Should we just end it with them going to, oh, this just in, we have a visual of the plane? Visual of the plane. Crashes into Burj Khalifa. We're not sure about that at all, but we'll see. So we got all this that we need to write. We've got the structure out and we know exactly what needs to be done, so we just need to present it in the way of like a, you know, news show thing. I want donuts. Damn it, Callie. Now you're making me want donuts. Hell yeah, I want me some donuts. I could go make some popcorn, but that's the closest thing I could get to a snack. I don't really have anything. I'm not sure if I should get the cheaper, healthier option or the more I write this sentence, the obvious choice becomes. Well, Callie, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to agree with you and I'm going to go grab something healthy. I will be right back. Now that you're making me feel hungry. I do have something healthy I can eat. You guys can stare at her back while I'm going. Oranges. Hell yeah. Muffins got tunage, damn. No, yeah, like Sean, Muffin knows what the fuck he's doing with his music. It is goddamn insane. I don't know if that shit's royalty free or not, but he's not streaming on YouTube, whereas I am. So it kind of limits a lot of the music you can play. And it also like mute the VOD if it's copyright, right? Which means if you're gonna be watching the VOD and there's anything being said during the VOD, then you're gonna have a problem. EDR, welcome, welcome. Hello again. Welcome back. How's it going? I'm glad you decided to return. It's always good to have returning people. We're just finishing up the reverse 9/11 story. We're now writing the section where the news is covering what happened, and they're gonna spin it in this very specific way to make it look like it's something that it's not. But you know, they only have this little bit of information, and Cindy's entire idea was to make this, like, you know, look way worse than it actually was. I think I use palpable a bit too often. Now I'm listening to my work more closely. In the story you're writing now, Sean, I don't think I've ever noticed palpable in your writing. It's not like there's not something popping out to me that's like, oh yeah, I remember when you used that. My use tremble too often. Like the energy in the room was palpable, the terror in the room was palpable. My fears were palpable. Did I forget how to speak? Yes, you did, Beezus, but that's okay. I switch from first person to third person, back to first person to third person to past tense to present tense, back to past tense to present tense to future tense. Like, almost every fucking sentence. It's actually ridiculous. The love for his people was palpable. That sort of thing. Ah. Such a good word when an emotion is so strong it should be a solid, but if I use it too often it will lose weight. You can find other ways to do that, Sean. You can use other similes and other metaphors, right? Like, I love ocean stuff. Like, you know, the height of a wave. Have you written stories before? Sean has, I have, I think everyone here has EDS or roiling. Yeah. But we have a lot of short stories. If you want to read the short stories, they are on the Google Docs. So if you go to the
You
Google
are in
Docs,
for it now, sweetheart.
which, oh,
Take those sexy
Smokey!
glasses off like a good girl.
You
don't
bastard!
Need to see what happens next.
I guess technically I would have to then paste this in here so
Thank
you
you
could
for
actually
redeeming chair dance.
click on it. Where is
Itox
this?
will now dance for you.
Oh,
Please fully
I'm in the
enjoy
middle
this
of doing
immersive
something! Give me a
experience.
second here, Smokey! Hold on, I need to... Okay, hold on. I need to... There. If you want to go to the Google Docs, you can go there, and all of my stories are here. I gotta get to dancing.
Keep dancing, bitch, it ain't over yet.
Oh, god damn it, Smokey.
You did good, you can rest now, babe.
I'll keep dancing for you because I didn't dance at the beginning. I want to make it worth your time there, Smokey. Totally worth it. Fine. You still have 89,000 points? Oh my fucking god. Smokey owes you a new chair. I've had this chair for like 10 years. It's a good chair. Alright, my boss is calling me. I gotta go meeting. Bye. Have a nice day, man. Alright, EDR. Have a good one, man. Thanks for popping in and hanging out, brother. Always a good time. Good, sir. Sorry to interrupt. I paid for a toke, too. Oh, I didn't see the toke. God damn it. You did everything, Smokey. Scammer. The streamer's a scammer. Guys, the streamer's a fucking scammer. He scammed me. I paid for the thing, and I didn't get the thing. He's a fucking scammer. Fuck this scammer streamer, bro. I'm gonna go on Reddit and I'm gonna spread word about this fake ass streamer bullshit that keeps doing his stupid making me pay for his shit but never giving me what I actually want out of it. What a piece of shit streamer. They should all get fired, guys. Those scam streamers like me should all get fired. We should just be kicked off the platform. Right? Cause yeah, and shot. True, Smokey. Like, we're just absolutely terrible fucking people. We are the biggest drain on society. Like, you want to talk about the bottom 15%? Well, we're like the bottom 10% of that 15%. The same way I dared with your mom, Smokey. Oh, what you gonna do, bitch? Loading cops. There isn't a wheelchair. Damn. I mean, if I didn't know better, I fucking filthy fucker. needed help out, and she just jumped on my dick. And I was like, well, that's good enough for me. You know? Ain't gonna say no, motherfucker. It's already happening. Okay. Hope you got the $600 on hand, Smokey, because that chair won't last forever. Flashbacks, Buck Rogers, Space Rockers. Nah, they're both amazing. My mom ain't in a wheelchair. I put her in one after the things we did. Woo! Freaky woman. I'm sorry, Smokey. Did you see my comment after I said roiling? The whirling waves crashing and thundering against the rocks, menacing the hull of the rickety lifeboat. True. I will make the stream deaf. Oh shit! Is Smokey gonna buy us a dial-up? Are you gonna dial us up there, Smokey? You know what you're doing. Wonder if I'll ever use that in a story. Well, because I called you out, now you can't do it, Smokey, because it's more like it's my idea now, because I said it first. Boom. Streamer W, bitch. Say it slowly. Oh, I'll say it again. It's okay, Smokey. I understand. Everyone.
Somebody gonna get hurt real bad.
Yay.
Okay, very much so, Smokey, very much. Norco, Smokey, no. It is a no. No, it is a no. Not no, no.
It is not. Do not go there, Smokey. We do not need that. Not now, not ever. It is something we will stay very much away from. You make me crying because I'm buried here. Oh, very, very true.
SMOT long puff.
Smoke. Oh my. Oh my god, Smokey, take the bong puff, please, sir. It is okay. You can come down now. Yo, I kinda stole Sean and Kelly. Yo, take a boat bet. It's okay, Muffin. You are allowed to steal them. They are not mine. I am the same. I am type of person that will watch like 18 streams at the same time. So I am very much guilty of the same thing. I am glad that you are on Muffin's stream because I like Muffin and I think Muffin deserves a lot more attention. So I'm glad you guys are over there participating and, you know, engaging in his content and supporting him. It is a very good thing. We all want to support everyone in the community. That is how we build. We all support each other, and that will get us to a point where we are on a strong foundation. Once you have your strong foundation, it is only to the sky and the moon you'd go, my friends. It is just taking off initially is the part. Who needs a quickie mart? I need a squishy. Right now. Please, I need a squishy. Right now. I do need to take a dope though. You are correct. Yes, everyone go to Muffin Stream. Right now. Go to Muffin Stream and support Muffin Stream. When is Catgirl stream? Smokey, I don't know. No one has voted on what we are doing for the 24-hour stream or what we are doing next full moon. Do you want me to get a Catgirl outfit? Because if you do, you have to say now so I can order it. And the Catgirl stream. Oh, yes, very much. There you go, Muffin. Muffin is the Catgirl stream. You do not have to worry. I don't have to worry. It is a Catgirl. Everyone is a Catgirl. I'm allergic to the purple side. Is that reading everyone's a cat girl or some other meaning? No, I was referring to that, Sean. But he's the one who brought up cat girl. Be back soon, guys. Okay, Smokey. Thanks for fucking me up and then fucking off. It's like date and dash. He didn't even fuck me. He just fucked me up. Never down. He never fucks me down, guys. Maybe I should tell him one day. It'd be important for
Ding
him
dong
to do
ditch.
that. True. At this point, I would not blame anyone.
Puff puff chuck.
True.
You'll huff and you'll puff and you'll stone your brain out.
True. That's why I need to put my brain onto paper. Look. I can't even spell Air Force. It's slowly rotting out, so we gotta get it on paper so that it doesn't, you know, it doesn't leak out everywhere. Only onto paper. We'll bring you the latest in the situation with Air Force One. Appears there was an unregistered boarding of the plane by multiple people before it took off. These people have put the lives of the president and their families. No. The president and former presidents in danger. We know that there may be this may Dubai Health Treaty. Sonnet is to vote on this week. Tension of the subject as being, I'm gonna use your word here, Sean, palpable, because I never use it. I commented in Muffin's stream that Vicky Tori was in the house because he won a match and he didn't know what I was doing. Okay, I'm guessing, but I don't actually know. What is that a reference to? I have no idea. Who's Vicky Tori? Is that a porn star or something? Oh, Victory. I see what you did there, Sean. So we got a little bit of world building with like what's going on and why it's so important and why those people are on the plane and everything. I think this can actually go... there. What is to be done? Tumultuous is definitely probably one of my words.
Crashing hard, bro. He'll head off for tonight. Had an early day today with Ms. Dental appointment.
Yeah, no worries, Sean. Have a great night, good sir. Thanks for stopping in and hanging out. Always a good time to see you, buddy. Always good time to read whatever you wrote. Take care, man. Have sweet dreams. We'll see you when we see you. Always on tomorrow. Today's the short stream, though. So you're not missing out on much today. Don't worry about it. We're just going to finish this up, and then we're going to play some Expedition 33, and then we're just going to call it a fucking night. I'm gonna write a romance about fish who turn into human witches and fall in love only to be transformed back into fish once their magic becomes too powerful. Ooh, I like it, Callie. That's so interesting. Hell yeah, go for it. That actually sounds really good. Okay, so it's just called the Dubai Airport. So we can just call it the Dubai Airport. Lesbian fish story. Hell yeah, Callie. I love it. Lots of spice in there. I don't know if that's good or not, but I mean, at least we have it on paper, right? Definitely needs work. But there's some elements to it that it kind of makes sense. If you're looking at it from like the angle of like, you know, for instance with the dialogue with being a reporter and going out of the way and just saying random shit that it's like you're trying to push an agenda with, right? Like you're clearly trying to push an agenda with something because we know what actually happened on the ship, but for some reason they're bringing this huge thing that had absolutely nothing to do with the story into it, right? And it's just simply also explaining, I'm gonna write prose like I would write a song, and if it doesn't work, I'll switch it back to the original style. That's a great way to be experimental, Callie. I love that. There's some scenes that aren't fully finished yet, so we'll have to go back in and change some of the shit, but we'll do all that shit tomorrow. We'll go through and we'll actually edit it, finish up what we need to, restructure what we need to. But I think that's a good enough scene for now. I mean, we may just do what we did last time, come up with an entirely new way of presenting it, completely delete everything that we wrote today, and just have a completely new perspective. Because I don't know how I feel about this being the ending. I like this line. It crashed through the floors as it dropped, smashing headfirst into the ground and exploding with a ferocity that dwelt in the soul for ages. Just like, oh shit, it's over. And everyone's just standing there in shock and awe, and like no one knows what the fuck is going on. It's like, how did this happen? Wait, what? But yeah, super, super interesting. At least in my opinion. I think it's interesting. And then tomorrow is going to be Elden Ring Night Rain. I'm super excited for that shit. That's going to be a good time. We could go find some secret area on the map and go fuck some shit up. Now that we've had the worst, yo, I'm on 30 puzzles right in a row. Nice, good job, Muffin. Hell yeah, brother. That's what it's all about. Keep going, man. I believe. I believe in you. Can you do 50 puzzles in a row, Muffin? 50 puzzles? It's a lot of puzzles. Your best is below that? Pump those numbers, bro. I believe in you, Muffin. You got this. New personal best. Alright. Can we fight this thing? We're full health. Wait. Let's see what it's worth. Probably gonna get our ass handed to us. Oh, that's so weird. She's in the middle now? Oh, she's on the... This is so weird. My whole party got fucked up.
Thunder. Strike swift. 3, 2, 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1.
dance begins.
Bitch. Oh, I gotta change categories. Shit, he's attacking me. Isn't he?
I'm ready. Danger! I'm ready.
Okay, we need to change categories. The mouse is fucking stuck though, I bet, isn't it? Okay, here we go. Let's do this. There we go. Boom, and here. Perfect. No. Yeah, just straight up attack is the best thing I can do.
Lune, watch out!
Too soon.
Anja! The dance begins.
Damage is fucking real.
I'll do it.
Too soon.
Please survive. Parry it.
Ready to evade. Ready to evade. I'll do it.
I'm okay.
Fuck!
Not looking good.
Luck smiles today.
Lune, attention. softly now. Get up!
Too soon.
You don't get to die yet.
Let's dance.
I'm so goddamn bad.
Careful, my L. Now's our chance. I'm ready.
Let's dance. On me. Ready to parry. Time to hit big.
I don't even care about that thing. We need to kill these guys.
Ready to parry. Let's dance. Ready to parry.
Too soon. Fuck me, and then just skips my turn.
Ready to parry. Let's dance. Let's dance.
Hey Gunnar, how's it hanging? We got thunder here. Oh damn. I'm getting destroyed.
Blades sharp.
But now I can probably finally act.
On me. On me. Okay.
Are you serious? How many times does he get to fucking go? This is so fucking retarded.
I can do it.
Get ready.
Too soon. And I'm stunned. I think I'm just dead.
Your turn to shine.
I'm not gonna do anything because look how many shields he has.
Incoming. Your turn to dance.
Wait, his shield's finally gone.
Time to end this.
Oh! Okay, that's even more bullshit. I was like, what the fuck does inverted do? Inverted, if I heal myself, I die. I have to do like 4 or 5 of these to kill him.
Well, yes, I love a dance.
Come on, Monoko, you got this.
Oh,
Oh, I can never block this. Yeah, I'm dead. GG, we tried. I don't know why CL takes so much more damage than all my other characters. Yeah, okay, he just got his shields back. I'm just dead. I gotta see what the fuck is going on with her. I'm like, do I have something on her that makes her take extra damage? She's like half the health, but she has the same amount of, like, vitality, right? Yeah, just for some reason she gets, like, no health from vitality. Defense is the same. Well, I mean, this one's 50, but that's, you know, same as hers. So I don't understand why CL takes so much more damage than everyone else. Buy news. True, it's on my OnlyFans. Well, I hope the order's right this time. We got fucking destroyed by this thing because it's fucking stupid. How I just cannot parry these fucking stupid things' moves. so we can't be healed because of inverted.
Maya.
Your fate is sealed.
This will hurt. You can't escape.
Should kill this one. Boom, dead. One down. Fuck those things.
Not today. Mael. Try.
Finally, I parried it.
Full deck. I'm waiting.
How did CL die from that one hit? The other guys are like full health. I don't understand. She just insta dies.
Feel the fur.
This will hurt.
Ready to evade.
I'm supposed to be able to do more than 9,999 damage, but I apparently can't. I don't know why I can't. But the same reason why you can attack 8 times in a row. So you're not going to be able to do anything with an attack.
René, attention.
Never been one for turn-based games.
Oh, I love turn-based games. Especially interactive turn-based games like this. It is super fun to play. What do you get from killing this mob? I don't know. It's blocking where I have to go, I think. I don't know, we beat the game. We're just doing like end game content now.
Attention. Now's our chance.
Well, we're just killing time because today's a lazy day. Because we work early tomorrow. But tomorrow is also Night Rain.
Careful.
Elden Ring Night Rain. So if you guys want to actually play with me tomorrow, get Night Rain. That's the Warzone type of thing, right? Drop in, find loot. Yeah, the battle royale, but in Elden Ring. So it's like an actual structured PvP in Elden Ring. Which looks fun as fuck.
Let us stay. Feel the burn.
Nice. CL's just way too weak for some fucked up reason. Not even sure why. I would lick her foot. True. Things I'd be doing right now if I wasn't on stream. Looks like something interesting, but it's not something interesting. What do you know? Naughty, naughty.
Naughty, naughty, are you teasing me?
True. You'll never know, Smokey.
Good stuff.
.43, my best is 46. I lost. Damn. You tried though. That's what matters, right, Muffin? You almost had it.
Feel the burn. On me. On me. Chroma is flowing. I'm ready. From fire.
Oh my god, I countered it. I'm learning.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Blades sharpened.
Oh my god, I pressed the wrong button. That's some badass fucking music.
Good stuff.
I don't know which direction I'm going anymore. It should be this way. Yeah, he's already gone silent. Woo! Snuck right past. Oh god, go up, go up, go, 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 go. The fuck? Okay. Still says danger. It's that high of a level. Not quite sure where to go. Wonder if I can kill this thing.
Flames. Rain.
Uh-oh.
Please survive.
Hasn't really dented his health at all. Damn, it's a lot of combos. Yeah, pretty sure I need to do an insane amount of damage in order to kill this thing. Yup. Alright.
The expedition's not over. The elements dance. Ready to evade.
Well, we got shit on.
Taking to the sky.
Brewer seems to be way above my level. Is this an old place? I don't remember. No, apparently this is new.
An advantage.
Is that all that's here?
Interesting. That's lucky. Feel the burn.
I'm ready.
Okay, these are just really low level. Endless Tower. Sounds like some endgame shit.
That's where she used to paint and create. A proper challenge.
That's what I'm packing. Endless Tower.
Endless Tower? That's what I am packing.
Alicia, I must say you surprised me. I didn't expect you and your friends to succeed. And I certainly didn't expect the doppelganger to pull you into his schemes. He was supposed to keep an eye on you, not recruit you. But you did well. All that's left is for Renoir to clean up the canvas. No, we won't let him. Alicia, don't be emotional. You know this is necessary. And spare me that drivel of how much this canvas means to you. I've spent far more time here than you. I painted half this world with Verso. We went on adventures here while you sat reading in your room. I was perfectly fine leaving Maman here to work out her sorrows. And if you insist on staying too, well, that's your choice. But Renoir will not stand for it, and I need him to help me with the real conflict outside, not waste more of his time in here. Enough. I grow tired repeating myself. Renoir will do what he needs to do. What needs to be done. Why don't we have some fun instead? I could use some fun. Good, I'll show you what you missed out on all those years hiding in your room. It's a game Verso and I used to play. I've sketched some figures, doodles really. I believe your friends call them Nevrons. It's a creative name, I like it. Verso and I named this challenge the Gauntlet. Survive them all and I'll show you a true drawing. Come on, Alicia, have some fun. The gauntlet lies within this canvas. Don't worry, death in there isn't final. Every canvas has its own rules. I find death is boring outcome. Don't you, Alicia? Choose your trial. Stage 1, trial 1. Ooh.
Do me in. Blade cut through the flames. Take cover. Mael.
Fuck.
Do me in. Take cover. Feel the burn.
Jesus.
I'm ready.
Dodge, Ciel.
Me.
Why can I not
Danger.
parry that?
On me.
Let the ink flow. ready to evade. Chroma is flowing. Feel the embrace of fire.
Trial complete. Am I just back to full health? Okay, cool. Wait, did I get experience? I didn't even check.
Do me in.
Please survive.
Take your shot.
Parry it.
Good.
I'm ready. I won't lose again. Now is our chance. Feel the embrace of fire. Dodge CL.
She just takes so much damage. It's kind of stupid.
Ready to parry.
Fuck.
I'll do it.
This will hurt.
Let's dance. On me. Let's dance. Time to hit big. Take down their shields. Okay. Ready to parry. That's better. You can't escape. Blades sharpened. Okay.
How do you like your own shields? Because I have 9 shields now, bitch. Just try and fucking kill me.
That's better. This will hurt.
Yeah, pretty sure I can't break through his shields. But he can't break through my shield either. Because for some reason you just get so many turns. And it's like I even tried to raise my agility to like 90 and it didn't change anything. So I was like, well, obviously that doesn't do anything.
Take down the shields. Okay.
He stabbed himself twice and was like, yeah, I get all the shields in the world. Let's go.
Good. Blades sharp.
As long as it's not those guys. I mean, those guys are one of the harder guys to do because shields. Anything that has shields is super annoying.
That's lucky.
Shit, that was jump attack.
Looks locked on you. Take cover!
Harry it!
Let the ink flow. Feel the embrace of fire.
Not leaving you behind.
Shit, that was a gradient.
Ciel, dodge.
Try me. Now's our chance.
Let's dance. Blades sharp.
Damn, he's got a lot of fucking health.
Let the ink flow. Danger!
Fuck.
I can do it.
I won't waste this.
Let's dance. ready to parry. Time to hit big. On me.
Thunder, strike swift.
Parry it. Blades sharp. You can't escape. This will hurt.
Chroma is flowing. I'll do it.
I don't know if I can beat this guy. He has way too much health.
Nice. This will hurt. This will hurt. Okay.
Fuck, I'm dead. Well, we got to stage 1. That guy's got way too much health. And CL's a useless piece of shit. Because for some reason she has half the health and like... I don't think there's any reason for her to have that. There's nothing on here that makes she to do like take more damage and have less health. She's just a shittier character. I just don't understand why she has absolutely no health. And why she takes so much fucking damage compared to the rest of them. It's a mystery, guys, but hey. Why am I playing as her? I want feet. That's all I care about is feet. Oh, shitty slow day today, but hey, that's okay. We get one of those every once in a while. I gotta work early tomorrow, so it's all good, right, boys? Anyways, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for watching me fuck around, because that's kind of all we did, but that's how it is, right? Sometimes that's what we get away with. But yeah, remember, if you can't say fuck you to your friends, who can you say fuck you to? Fuck you! Alright, let's find someone to raid.